chickpea Sammies, herbaceous sun-dried tomato pasta salad, and pan-seared zucchini topped with a flavor bomb. Hi friends, welcome to episode 7 of Cooking Live with Lala. I'm Lala. I'm a home cook, professional baker, and plant-based eater. Whether you are also plant-based or just trying to get more delicious plants into your diet, this show is for you. Let's start cooking. We are starting with our pasta salad today. I've already pre-cooked a box of pasta. This is a 12-ounce box. I'm just using a lovely rotini. This is actually the pasta that I used. You guys do not have to use a gluten-free pasta. If you've seen this show before, you know that I'm celiac, so it's gluten-free pasta for me. Most gluten-free pastas I actually don't like at all. One of the ones that I will eat is this Barilla one. It does tend to stay together a lot better than most of the others. So we've got cooked and cooled pasta, and we're going to make the sauce that goes with that. All right, so the base of the sauce today is, let me see, cashews. I soaked cashews. I put them in my blender with some plant milk and some water. And so that's the base. You could also use mayonnaise if you'd rather use mayonnaise. All right. To that, let me bring this down actually. To that, I'm adding about a tablespoon prepared mustard. This is a horseradish mustard. There we go. I also like a stone ground brown mustard. Really just like, not that yellow one. It's not the best mustard, guys. If you just eat the yellow mustard, expand your horizons. Try some new mustards. I promise you'll love it. Okay. So to this, we're also going to add our acid. I recommend for this dish that you use either an apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. I'm going to use apple cider vinegar today. So I got this cool squeeze bottle, putting in about a tablespoon of that. And because I have acid in here, I'm going to add a little bit of sweetness. I'm using maple syrup. If you're SOS free, you could totally leave this out. I just like to balance out the acid a little bit. And you know what, guys? If you are not cooking with an acid in your food, you're really missing out. Do you ever taste a dish and it just kind of falls flat? You're like, wow, I put so much time into it, but when I taste it, it's kind of dull. It probably needs acid. Some of the best acids that you could use would just be a squeeze of a lemon or a squeeze of a lime, depending on what you're cooking. Or there's a multitude of really wonderful vinegars out there. I love to use apple cider vinegar. I like to use rice wine vinegar. I use gobs of balsamic vinegar. I have a few other ones that I use here and there, but those are my big ones right there. All right, so we've got our mustard, our apple cider vinegar, our maple syrup in here. I'm going to add some nutritional yeast. If you're not vegan, you could just add some Parmesan. That would be just fine in this recipe. This is an open space for all people of all eating styles. This is not just a specific space for vegans. I'm thinking that we may have some new viewers today. I really hope so. And I would imagine probably a lot of them aren't vegan, and that's okay because this is not a vegan space. This is a space for people who want to eat more plants or they like their plants to be delicious. I've talked about this before. When I'm on social media, how many times I see somebody just eating, they're like, here's my dinner. And it's a picture of just like white rice and some green beans, no seasoning, no sauce. And I'm just like, wow, that's so sad. Eat better. Okay. So we got a nutritional yeast in here. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. Again, if you're SOS free, you could leave the salt out. And I'm going to just do a little bit of pepper in there. All right, and then we're going to put our seasonings in here. I am using dried basil, dried rosemary, and a little pinch of red pepper flakes. I love red pepper flakes. I love putting them actually in a lot of foods. All right, put the lid on this and mix that up. That should be it. All right. This looks really good. You see that? That's awesome. That's some sauce right there, guys. You know, you guys, you have to taste your food too. Taste in the beginning, taste in the middle, taste at the end. I'm gonna give this a taste. It's got a little punch from that apple cider vinegar with a tiny bit of sweetness. It is really good. I do want to add a tiny bit more salt into this. I really don't use a lot of salt in my diet. I like to say that I'm SOS light, which is salt, oil, and sugar. For those of you that don't know, there's a whole group of people that don't consume salt, oil, or sugar. I think I'm going to live a long time, and I just feel like I don't have high blood pressure, so I'm just going to use a little bit of salt, and I use a little bit of oil. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's pour this in and mix it up. All right, now let's add all of our delicious vegetables in here. So I've got about a cup of fresh peas that I'm pouring in. You guys do not have to use the vegetables that I'm using. You can use what you like. You know, that's one of the purposes of this channel, is for people to learn to make dishes on their own, to make adjustments to recipes, all on their own. This is artichoke hearts. I wanted to use like a cup, but I didn't have a cup yet left. So I just kind of did a rough chop on these guys. That's going in. The brand that I used for that is the Delalo. I really like this brand. Everything I've had from these people, it's really good. But you guys can use whatever you want. You don't have to use what I use. Forge your own path, guys. Okay. And then I also have some sun-dried tomatoes. So these are actually the ones that are sold dry, not in oil. I don't like the ones in oil. They're just hard to use. And I actually really like the chew of these guys. So I'm going to throw that in. And then I like to add a green. You know, I'm always trying to increase the nutrition of every dish I make. So if I can add a little bit of greens, I will. If you have kids, this is a good way to just hide some greens into their food. I actually recommended a handful. This is like way more than a handful. I might not use all of this. Just going to do a rough chop and throw this in. So happy to be back today. You guys know that I have basically been off for the past 2 weeks because of crazy life things happening. Okay, I'm going to throw it all in. So it's honestly been 3 weeks since my last live show because the last 2 shows were just recorded. They had minimum edits. Oh man, this looks really, really good, guys. I'm super excited to try it. Okay, let me see what I'm missing. Fresh basil, parsley, chopped green onions. So I always keep green onions in my kitchen. I just keep them in a cup of water. I throw them out when they get gross, but I always have them. Green onions are a great way to just add some flavor, add some color to your dish. So I'm just going to do a couple tablespoons here of green onions. That'll add a little bit of zing to the flavor. And I've got some parsley. You don't have to put parsley in this. As a matter of fact, you don't have to put most of the things in this. You could really just make this dish with things that you like. Dude, I am seriously almost out of parsley, and I need it for other dishes, so I'm not going to use much. This could be the parsley show today because everything I'm using has parsley. Okay, we're going to throw that in. And then the star of the show is basil. So I just have a few basil leaves here. I got this basil from my friend Larry. Do you see him? So I know I talked a little bit about that I moved to a small town, or I was moving to a small town. And my biggest concern really was the grocery store situation. Let me tell you, I can't find fresh basil in this town, along with a multitude of other things. So I had to buy Larry. Yesterday. He's full of Herbaceous. He's been sitting in the window enjoying life, but we're going to steal a few leaves from him today to use him in this cooking. Look, you can kind of see Larry on the screen. Let me move him back a little bit. No, he's still in there. Oh, well. Everybody say hi to Larry. Do a little chiffonade on these basil leaves. That's like a tablespoon, guys. And then I'm going to mix that in. I feel like I'm a little thrown off my game today because obviously I'm in a new space, which is, by the way, smaller than small. It's actually not that small. It just feels small. On the camera, it looks small. The kitchen's just more of kind of like a galley kitchen. So it's really hard to set up camera and everything with this. But hey, guys, I think we're done with this. Let's go ahead and pour this into our final bowl. I really like to serve things in cool dishes, okay? Like, I own so many. I'm a minimalist, but when it comes to, like, serving dishes, I have a million. Because I love serving things in pretty dishes. I just do. Life is too short to not do things that make you happy. All right. This sucker looks good. Doesn't he look bueno? Oh, my goodness. Okay. I am going to steal a couple leaves off of Larry to put in here. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? And I really don't use a lot of vegan cheese, but I am going to use some today. This is Violife. I think it's one of the good ones. I'm just going to do a little sprinkle. If you're not dairy-free, you could definitely use like a cheese of your choice. I'm just going to put some of that on there. And we're going to call this dish done. All right. It looks like a lot has been happening in the chat. The first thing I see is Baby Roderick says, hi, Lala. Hi, little baby boo. I love you so much. I still don't know what to call you, but I love you so much. I'm going to try to go up in the chat to see what I missed. All right. Hello, Tia and Duff Trip. Hello, Sydney. Hi, Jeff Books. Let's see. Gluten-free pasta always falls apart for me. So here's some keys if you're making gluten-free pasta. Follow the directions on the box, but take off 2 minutes. So if it says to cook it for like 10, start checking it at 8. You want to take it out when it's al dente. Do not let it get soft because that thing is going to be mush. The other thing, most gluten-free pastas will fall apart if you reheat them. It's a problem. It's a serious problem. Luckily, this is a cold dish, so I'm not reheating the noodle. But if I was, there would be a chance it would fall apart. I think these gluten-free noodles still have a long ways to go. Let's see. I love cashews. Me too. Hi, Bun Bun. Bun Bun is our chat host. So everybody, please say hello to Bun Bun. She is my favorite person on the chat who always asks a lot of questions. Even Death Trip says, is that the famous Bun Bun? Thank you. Sydney says it looks delicious. So I boiled this, actually Barilla pasta. I did boil for 9 minutes and it worked well. Can you use the sun-dried tomatoes and oil? Oh, yeah, I think that means sun-dried tomatoes. Yeah, use the sun-dried tomatoes that you like. I mean, seriously. Tia says hi to Larry. Larry, oh my God, look at all the Larry love. Thanks, guys. Wonderful background, though. Thank you. Hello, Patricia Chapman. That's my mother. Hey, guys, you ever notice that you like do things several times and you feel really good about it? You're like, yeah, I've got this. I'm good at this. And then you find out your mom's coming on and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I going to be okay? I don't know if I'm okay. I felt a little bit like that today, but I'm good now. Cooking, whatever I do, always relaxes me. It's a good thing for me. So let's see. Anybody else? Okay. If there's anybody else on the show who hasn't said hello, I would love to hear, just to see you pop in, say hello. And we're going to get started on our chickpea salad. All right. Let me get my setup going here. Oh, I wanted to show you the sun-dried tomatoes that I used. It's just, I don't even know where this came from. Just a little bag of the sun-dried tomatoes. I just chopped those up and put them in. Let me clean up my workspace. You guys need to have a clean workspace, okay? You know what Uncle Roger would say? Hiya, dirty workspace. I don't know if he'd really say that, but I feel like he'd say that. Aw, hi, little Mercy. Thank you. Mama says you know what you're doing. I do know what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, you know, if I ever feel nervous about doing this show, I just focus on the cooking, because the cooking I could do in my sleep. Seriously. Okay. We're making chickpea Sammies. I actually cook these from dried, because that's how I prefer to do my beans. But you could definitely buy like 2 cans of chickpeas would be fine. I drained them really well, and then I just put them in the food processor. So like half of them are kind of ground up and half of them are still whole. This is just the way I like it. You could do it any way that you like. All right, we're going to prepare our dressing for the salad. All right, I'm starting in this bowl with just some more parsley. Like I said, every dish has parsley today. You know, this dressing is kind of similar to how you would make a ranch dressing. A lot of similar ingredients. All right, so for the sauce, I've got some mayonnaise. I've got some more mustard. And I have got 2 teaspoons of maple syrup in here. That's because I am adding an acid. And I just like to offset that acid a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to just add some lemon juice. Lemon juice totally brightens up this recipe a lot. You could use a whole fresh lemon. I'm just going to do this for today. I do have lemons. I'm just being stingy, I guess, with my lemons. All right. And then I'm going to put the seasonings in here. That's going to make all the difference in the world for this dish. I've got some dill. I really like dried dill. I think it's one of the herbs that really maintains its flavor well when it's dried. So dill, the parsley's in there. I've got some onion powder and paprika, smoked paprika. So what's everybody doing for the summer? I think it's like mid-summer now. I know some of you had a baby. That's a cool thing to do with your summer, having a baby. Could you also use lime? You could use lime. I mean, I think you could totally change this up and just put some lime in it, maybe add a little bit of mint. You can do what you want. The way that you learn to cook is just by getting in the kitchen, trying things, seeing what works. All right, I'm going to dump this sauce in. I do want to taste it though. Oh, that's really good. All right. I'm just going to, again, add a little bit of pepper here. And a pinch of salt. This basil's trying to be in my salt. Does anybody here like chickpeas? I love chickpeas. I actually love beans. I eat beans every day. Let's see. We had a baby, and then we're spending time at the water park. Okay, what kind of life is spending your life at the water park? Doesn't everybody want to do that like every day? Patricia is going camping at Black Rock Mountain in North Georgia Mountains. Ooh, a bear sanctuary. How cool. I saw a funny, not funny story earlier today. A sheep herder was herding sheep through the southwest mountains of Colorado. And when he was asleep in the middle of the night, he awoke to the bear attacking the sheep. So let's just get this straight in the beginning. A man brought a buffet to bear country, right? So then the man woke up to defend the buffet. The man got mauled. He's okay, I think. He did suffer some wounds. And then they killed the bear, which makes me very sad. They brought a buffet to bear country. And then they killed the bear for doing what a bear does. I didn't even know there were like sheep herders in the US. Did you guys know that? Things that I don't know. Okay, moving on. All right, so what we're adding, like aromatics and stuff to this dish, is I've got some finely chopped onion, and then I've got 2 celery stalks, including the leaves, which I've cut up. And then my favorite component of this dish is actually these little peppers. They're banana peppers. They're not really spicy. They just have really great flavor. When I was a little kid, I'm a military kid, right? And so we went to the commissary like every 2 weeks and did like a major grocery stock up. If you guys have never been to the commissary, I think it's like the original big box store. I mean, I was a little kid, but in my memory, this thing was like huge. We would be there along with like every other wife and their kids, and then we would be there for hours buying groceries. It took forever. But anyways, the thing that I always did, or at least I remember doing, is making like a sandwich when we got back from the store. And of course, there was probably like meats on it, cheese on it. But what I really liked were like the tomatoes, the onions, the lettuce. And I would always add some banana peppers. That was always like my special ingredient. All right. I bet you remember that, Mom. Banana peppers are so good, so much flavor. Do you measure, or are you adding how much you... Okay. I did actually kind of measure these ingredients today. I'm not great at measuring. I try to measure for you guys when I list recipes and stuff because I know people want recipes, but I would say kind of. Bun Bun says she measures with her heart. So this is what this looks like now. It does kind of resemble a tuna or a chicken salad. We're just going to let these flavors marry for a little bit before we plate this. And I am going to give it a little bit of a taste. That's really good. Whoa, so good. Okay. Cleaning up my mess. And the last thing we're doing today is the zucchini. You ever notice when you buy zucchini and then you cook it, it gets really mushy? If that's a problem for you, this is the way to deal with zucchini. Let me show you. So this is just one zucchini. I cut it into 8 pieces. I have salted each side, and it's been sitting for about half an hour. Did you guys see the water fall off of that? So the salt is drying out the liquids, which will help the zucchini stay more firm when we cook it. So before we get started, I'm just going to wipe off the excess salt. If you're SOS free, you could just leave this bit out. I'm just doing a quick wipe. And then I'm not going to actually salt this later because you will still taste some of the salt even when you wipe it off. All right. I'm actually going to cook this right here. Got this little handy dandy guy that you guys see on almost every show so far. I kind of don't trust it. Every time I use it, I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen here. I feel like it's kind of janky, but we're going to hope for the best, man. All right. Just using a stainless steel pan here. Gonna put in a little neutral oil. And I'm gonna turn that to like a medium high. This is gonna cook very quickly. It's got about a tablespoon of oil in there. And while that heats up, I'm gonna chop this garlic. Actually, I'm gonna use a heavy duty knife. I'm gonna smash this guy. You know what annoys me when you like cut open a garlic and then there's multiple garlics inside? It's like you guys were tricking me with a multiple garlic situation. I don't like to deal with the little tiny garlics. I just want the big garlics. All right. This always takes a minute to heat up. So we're just searing the zucchini, and then we're going to add like a topping that has a lot of flavor. It's so good. My mom says she remembers us eating a whole bag of chips on the way home. Oh my God, I don't remember that. But it's probably why I don't buy chips anymore. Maybe like twice a year, because a bag of salt and vinegars, dude, I can eat the whole thing and then I'll spend the next 2 days like completely puffy from all that salt. I do love them. They're still my favorite. And my son-in-law, Jeff, loves them too. So sometimes we kind of enjoy them together. And actually, Sydney, you have a salt and vinegar powder that you bought. I need to know where you got that because I really need to get that. That's like a really cool thing. Tia and I made some popcorn and put that on the other day. It was really, really good. All right. I'm going to throw these guys in. It's not. Is it ready? Yeah, it's ready. So this is going in without anything on it. You know, I wiped off the salt. It doesn't have any other seasoning on it. This cooks really fast. It's about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. You can buy salt and vinegar powder from Amazon. Thank you. Do I have can you have bigger garlic? The bigger, always use as much garlic as you can stand. I'm mostly kidding. Some things you don't want to be overly garlicky, but we do like a lot of garlic here. All right. We are not ready to flip yet. We're going to let these get really nice and brown, and then we're going to take them out. Guess y'all might want to watch that. So Sydney told me what she's doing this summer. Did anybody else? Oh, and Patricia told me what she's doing. Can I put 7 garlics in it? Yeah, totally. So that's starting to look good. One thing about the camera is a lot of times there's a lot of lights here that you really can't tell, but sometimes the lights really block out, or you just can't see how brown something is. But this one looks really good. See that guy? We're going to flip him for sure. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Ooh, that thing is splattering. That's the liquids in the zucchini splattering. All right. Probably another minute these guys will be done. Papa, you're ordering the stuff tomorrow? Nice. So anyways, we had a baby. It wasn't really we. There was really no we. It was my daughter and her husband. I was lucky enough to get to be there because it's always an amazing experience. They now have 5 children, so that's a lot. That's a lot of kids. I wish you guys the best of luck. I really do. But I miss you guys. I haven't seen you for a couple days. Definitely going to have to plan a visit soon. I just want these to get to like a golden brown color like this guy. Golden brown on each side, and then we're going to take them out. All right, that guy's good. I'm just going to drain them on a paper towel. All right, those guys are done. And they retain their firmness because we've removed quite a bit of the water from them. All right. So this flavor bomb business, we are going to, ooh, that pan is smoking. I'm going to take that off for a second and turn this down. Ooh, that guy is really hot. Look at that. All right, so for the flavor bomb, we're doing onions, mushrooms, garlic, some other aromatics. Cool down. The other day, the smoke alarm went off, and I was just boiling water, so you might have to open a door for a minute, dude. It's getting smoky in here. Let's get this stuff cooked. It's still very hot. I'm going to turn it down more. It's browning already. The pan is still hot. All right. I just like for the onions to get a little bit translucent before I throw my mushrooms in. Mushrooms have a lot of water in them. Oh, one of these onions just popped out of the pan on the floor. All right. I don't know if you can see, but some of this is already browning. So I've got some mushrooms I'm throwing in. All of these recipes will be in the description box after sometime tonight, whenever I get to it, I guess. All right. We're just going to let those mushrooms cook down. And then we're going to throw in our garlic in a second. All right. So we're going to do onion, mushrooms, garlic, fresh parsley, a lemon, and some salt. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more oil to this. Probably about half a tablespoon. Is the baby adorable? Okay, the baby is endlessly adorable. He is super like, okay, he was like a week early and he was born holding his head up, eyes wide open. He's almost talking, I swear to God. He's just super alert. He knows what's going on. He's so cute. So cute. I'm pretty sure he's like, looks just like Jeff. We're going to see what happens, but he seems to look a lot like Jeff. He's got Jeff's nose. I think maybe his mouth. I think he's got my wonky head. I'm sorry. I know it's super round. I can't do anything about that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and throw this garlic in. You guys don't burn your garlic, okay? Nobody likes burned garlic. Lots of times you see people cook and they throw the garlic right in with the onions. I'm like, what are you doing? Your garlic's going to burn unless you're just sweating your garlic. This thing has lost all the heat now. I turned it down a little bit. It's just, you know, it's just kind of a janky cooktop. Maybe I can find a better one. All right, temp's coming back up again. All right. Let me cut some parsley to go in here. Like I said, I'm almost out of this parsley. It's almost done. If you guys have enjoyed this content at all, please, you know, the best way that you can help this channel right now is to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Please, pretty please, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I would love for you to subscribe. It's super, super hard to get going as a YouTube channel if you're not like probably a gamer or a tech person. I'm just competing with like, I don't know, 1 billion people. Jeff, do you know? I don't know how many people's on YouTube. I think it's like a lot of people. All right, this is sufficiently cooked. I can smell the garlic. I'm going to actually turn this off. Throw my parsley in. I'm going to squeeze this lemon on there. That's a juicy guy. I only did like half the lemon. That's really going to brighten it up a lot. And I'm just going to add a little pinch of salt to this. And this is what this looks like. Just a little topping for our zucchini. And I'm just going to top it with this. This is so good, you guys. It's just super flavorful. You know, it doesn't hurt that it has an acid in it. That acid really, really makes flavors pop a lot. So that's our zucchini plate. I'm going to move all this stuff out of here, and then we're going to plate our dish. This guy gets super hot. All right. So I pre-toasted some bread. They're the tiniest breads in the world because for some reason manufacturers who make gluten-free bread think that we only like half a sandwich instead of a full sandwich for some reason. So I'll just make one of those guys. And I'm just going to put some spinach down. I like to have a little bit of greens. Plus, it makes the sandwich look a little bit better. I think I need a spoon for this. Oh, something else I want to do to this sandwich. Ooh, all right. I got this tiny, cute jar. It has wing sauce in it. So I'm just going to put on a little bit of wing sauce. I did not make this, guys. I don't make every single thing I eat. That looks good, doesn't it? Yummy. Just going to add a couple of these zucchinis. God, those look so good. I really love these zucchinis. And lastly, we're just going to throw some pasta salad on here. Do I have a taster in the house? Are you excited? Are you hungry?
Starving.
You're starving. Hi, E.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Can't wait to eat.
Here's a fork.
Thank you.
Let me just show this plate a little bit. It looks good, right, guys? All right, what are you going to taste first? Look at you. You're like trying to take the plate away from me.
Yeah, I'm not falling for that one again.
Just pasta salad, super good. You took the zucchini? Was it hot?
So good. No, it's perfect.
Do you want to taste the Sammy?
Oh.
Come this way.
Oh, hi.
Your head is always cut off in like all the shows.
I high five you, but my hand is good.
I want to taste that.
That's really good.
Chickpea sandwiches are my oldest daughter's favorite sandwich. Oh, good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You may go eat this food. I feel like every video ends with me just chewing food. I'm very excited to eat. I haven't really eaten today. I think I had half a banana, so that's kind of sad. Oh, and one piece of bread. But I'm going to go eat. If you watched the whole show, thank you so much. You're the best. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. I hope you did give a little like and a surprise. Roy says, where's his plate? It's good stuff, Roy. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And I hope to see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. when I'll be cooking live with Lala.